Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I think it's afternoon for Benji, afternoon for Nick.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
For Malcolm, evening for me.
Afternoon for me.
And I imagine morning for most of the viewers. And Zach will be here in a minute, morning for him as well. But welcome. How is everyone doing today?
Excited?
I'm excited.
Excited.
I heard there's some big news coming out today. I saw it on socials.
I'm excited to let everyone see.
There's
been a lot of things. There's been a lot of things in the works for a long period of time. It's been a while since we've actually been able to show people something and give some dates for things. So maybe I just gave away too much there.
There's no dates. What are you talking about?
No dates. Dates.
It's there, right? Isn't it? It's soon.
Yeah,
It's soon.
That's the only date we know.
Precisely. Right. We'll give everyone a few minutes to join in. See, there's soon.
I don't know what David Mann is on today, but he seems super pumped.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments. I see a lot of comments from David Mann. Oh, he's Darth ZOGI.
Yeah, he's excited.
Okay, we have people from Dubai.
A few people coming in from LinkedIn. I can see higher LinkedIn community. I know that's been growing since we've been posting our job listings on there. We've been growing our community there quite a lot.
I like this question from Bezoge. I know you guys can't announce exchanges, so when will the exchanges announce? That's a cool way of wording the question.
And we have Zach checking us here in the mirror.
Yeah, he's not there.
Coming on with his wonderful hair. Yeah, there we go. He came on a funny look on his face when he saw his own hair.
I know it was.
You probably scared half of our viewers away.
Yo,
hey,
guys,
Scott Campbell, how you doing?
It's like stupid o'clock right now.
What time is it? 7?
I know what they were.
Yeah, it's 7 a.m. but it's so dark outside. It's like the middle of the night, and my hair is definitely all over the place.
Well, welcome to Jamie from Canada. People from all around the world. People can share in the comments. We're share in the comments, guys, where you're viewing from. It would be nice to see.
I think Steve, you have a connection issue.
Do I?
Yep.
Yes, but underwater.
I also have a connection issue. 1 second. Is this better? Is that better?
Keep saying that's better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Shall we get started?
I was saying, if everyone can please comment. I'm liking seeing where everyone's watching from. Please drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. That would be nice to see. Okay, we have a few. So Texas and Louisiana border, Connecticut. We got Bezoge Dave. I think that's my brother. It's my brother in Scotland. Someone said they're in UTC, Universal Time. I guess that's somewhere around the UK. Somewhere around the UK, yeah.
I mean, for now anyway, that's the clock change.
I guess that's a slang for Alabama. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm assuming. We got Jamie from South Carolina, Sam from Switzerland. Oh, it's nice to see all these. There's a lot of comments. I didn't expect to have to show so many comments, but now I feel like I have to show them all. So David from Bolton. I don't know how to pronounce this. Pankaj, I guess, from Finland. AD from Paris. Hey, AD, how are you doing? Cindy De Vries from Netherlands. Gaz Monkey from Leeds. Sir Swifty from CT. Is that Connecticut? Bear Krog, East Coast, Florida. Oh, there's a lot. Okay, there's too many now. We have Australia, though. Someone said Earth. Someone said Earth, so they were close. Yeah. Yeah. David, you should have said Moon. Someone should have said the Moon. Yeah. Okay, Northern Ireland as well. Well, welcome, Samuel from Northern Ireland. Half Northern
Dundee.
Irish. So.
Only the best.
Dundee, Graham, Dundee.
You're all Dunners.
Me and Malcolm studied together in university in Dundee, for those that don't know. So, yeah. Okay, maybe we should. Scott Campbell from Scotland as well. Dundee too. Okay, so maybe
Dundee, a lot of holders in Dundee, isn't there, Steve?
we do. I'm in a WhatsApp group. I'm in a WhatsApp group that is called, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's just called Bezoge Group Chat, but it's literally all people in Dundee, and there's 35 people in there, all in Dundee. So yeah, there's a lot of holders specifically in sort of Scotland, Dundee area. I think there's more than that as well. So yeah. Okay, should we get started?
Yeah, I think so. I'm eagerly anticipating this news.
Yeah, the blockchain section, I think we can kind of skip to a certain extent because the next section is all about blockchain. So the main thing that we've been working on is the ZOGI contract. So everything for ZOGI, which is the bridge, the wrapper, everything related to that. Audits should be happening this week. I guess that's quite a big update that I didn't add its own page for. Maybe it deserved its own page. But yes, audits should be happening this week. All the documentation is being put together to send everything for audits for the bridge and also for the wrapper contract for the ZOGI launch. So then maybe we move on to the next slide, which is ZOGI. So the big update today, I guess, is we're going to go do a bit of a deep dive into what is ZOGI, the benefits of it, and maybe even give a release date. Maybe. So you better keep an eye out to the end of the ZOGI section if you want to know the release date. So first thing, I think we mentioned this last week, ZOGI will be launching on 3 chains simultaneously. So on day 1, it will be available on 3 chains, 3 liquidity pools. And the way that it works is, as you can see on the graphic at the top, currently you have Bezoge. You can wrap that into ZOGI on ETH chain, and then it is bridgeable between any chain that we support. So in the beginning, there'll be 2 chains. At the moment, we've written chain A and chain B. Over the next few weeks, keep an eye on socials, and we'll be announcing which chains they are. We're quite excited for that. But basically, you can bridge, you wrap basically into ZOGI, and then you're able to bridge between any chain. And to make it clear, you don't have to bridge from ETH to chain B. You can also directly bridge from chain A to chain B. It's not that everything has to go through ETH. I know it looks like on this graphic that in order to go from chain A to chain B, you have to go through ETH. You can actually go in between those 2 chains directly without going back to ETH. And the good thing that we're doing is a lot of tokens, when they have multiple chains, they have a wrapped version of the token on the chain A, B, because every token is one chain. We don't. We have all 3 chains. The total supply between the 3 chains is the total supply of the token. We're not locking tokens in a contract or ETH to move to another chain. They're completely equal because we want to be as chain agnostic as possible. So what that means is, when I move from ETH to chain A, I'll actually burn the tokens on ETH, and I'll mint new tokens on chain A. And then if I was to move from chain A to chain B, I would then burn them on chain A, and I would mint new tokens on chain B. So we never end up with extra supply.
Steve, we can't hear you.
I think we just lost Steve there for a second. Just hold on a second. Hopefully he'll come back on with his VPN.
It's the wrong time. It's the wrong time of bad connection. Is that better?
It's good, but I think your video has gone on lag.
Okay, I can turn off my video for now. Maybe that'll help. Is that better? Is that better for everyone? Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me or not?
Barely.
No.
Barely. Sounds you went stingy on your internet connection as well.
Okay, I'll
Steve, are you
refresh.
back?
I'll be
I can
back.
see you again.
I'll refresh. I don't. 1 second. I'll refresh.
But we can't hear you yet. Oh, Steve's dropped.
He's dropped.
Just bear with us a minute, everyone. We'll just get Steve back on, and we'll get the presentation back up as well. Here
Yeah,
he
I'm
is.
back. Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We lost you
So
at the
let me
part
get-
where you were talking about the supply and the zero impact on the market capitalization.
Yeah. So I was saying a lot of tokens. Someone has really loud background noise. I don't know who it is. Is it you, Zach? Is it you, Malcolm?
Couldn't be me, bro. It's the middle of the night here.
It might be Malcolm. There's background noise coming
I'm
from
in
someone.
a soundproof box right now, so zero noise in here.
Okay, I don't know where the noise is coming from then. Okay. Anyway, let me continue. If anyone else can hear that noise, let us know, and maybe everyone can mute themselves while I talk, just in case not. Yeah, it was you. Here we go. The noise is gone. So yeah, so what I was saying was most most tokens will have, what they do is when you move from, let's say, ETH to chain A, you would actually lock the tokens into a smart contract, and then you would mint new tokens on chain A, which means that your total supply actually increases. But what we do is we burn the tokens on ETH when we move to chain A. And that means that the total supply actually never increases. It will stay the correct amount across all the chains at all times. Is my connection still bad? Some people are breaking up for me. So
Oh, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. Okay. So that's what happens with 3 chains simultaneously. So you can wrap to ETH, and then you can bridge between any chain you want. And we start off with 3 chains. Maybe there should be more chains in future as well. Second thing is, because the ZOGI is essentially 1 billion to 1, that means we should drop around 9 zeros on the ZOGI price. So currently the Bezoge price being 0.000 with 9 zeros, then 85. That would mean that the price of the 1 ZOGI would be 0.85. So that's essentially what we do. And that means that it's because the maximum supply is significantly lower. The maximum supply is based on the amount of Bezoge that can be wrapped. So as there are transactions happening on Bezoge, the supply goes down because of the burn that we have with the redistribution. And that will lead to the maximum supply of ZOGI actually going down over time. So the more transactions happen on Bezoge, the lower the maximum supply of ZOGI can possibly be, because the maximum supply is equal to the amount of Bezoge that can be wrapped. The next thing is significantly lower gas fees. So if we're on ETH, of course, the gas fees will be the same. But because we have these extra chains, at the moment just chain A and chain B, and when you see which chains they are, you'll maybe get an idea. Some of you might be able to have a look at the end of we have some screenshots of some of the UI at the end. Maybe you'll be able to see some of the colors on there for the eagle-eyed out there and try and guess what chains there's going to be. We've blurred out some sections. But basically, because these chain A and chain B are much lower gas fee chains, you can actually do transactions on those chains with significantly lower gas fees. Then arbitrage opportunities. So this is one of the main things that will be really advantageous for ZOGI as a token, because we have a difference in price. Essentially, there's 4 separate prices here. So we have the Bezoge price, we have the ZOGI price on ETH, we have the ZOGI price on chain A, and the ZOGI price on chain B. If someone is to buy on, let's say, on chain B, the price of ZOGI goes up, let's say, 10% in one day, and no one has bought on chain A on ETH or bought Bezoge on ETH, then there's essentially a 10% opportunity there in trading, right? So you could either buy Bezoge and then sell it wrap it and then sell it on chain B, or you could, buy on ZOGI directly on ETH or chain A and then move it to chain B to sell it. This leads to a lot more transaction volume, trading volume essentially, because there'll constantly be discrepancies in the price, and either there will be people balancing it out or the project ourselves will actually be able to balance it out to increase the trading volume. So either way, the differences in the price should lead to significant trading volume and also opportunities for people in the community to grab profits by that. If you see that one of the chains is up 10%, you can quickly bridge your tokens over, sell them there, buy them back on the original chain. And that leads to, price action on all these different chains. So there should always be a lot of opportunities, because the more chains there are, essentially, the higher the trading volume should be, because all the prices need to be aligned on all these different chains. The next thing is, which I think a lot of people already know about, but no tax on transactions. The difference here is you have no tax on transactions, but you still keep your redistribution. That's one of the best things about ZOGI. So because of the way that we wrap, you actually wrap and it begins at 1 billion to 1. And then as the redistribution collects in the wrapper contract, the price will actually go slightly up based on the amount of redistribution that is collected in the contract. So if over the course of a year, let's say, the amount of redistribution on Bezoge was, let's say, 1% or 2%, let's say 2%, then it would cost 1.02 billion per ZOGI. And that means that if you had wrapped your ZOGI already, when you unwrap it, you'll also get 1.02 billion as well. So that means that just by holding ZOGI, you can move it between wallets, but you'll actually get your redistribution still by the form of the fact that you could unwrap your ZOGI at any time and get more tokens than you originally paid to wrap, because you're still collecting the redistribution. Then last but not least, should be significantly more exchange friendly. We're not going to, someone said earlier, are we going to announce any exchanges? When are we going to announce the exchange? We never will. The exchange will always announce first. This is one of the other reasons that we focused on ZOGI. Number one, no meme. It's kind of an important thing. A lot of exchanges don't want to necessarily list memes. So it's nice for us to have another option, sort of an upgrade in the ecosystem that allows us to list on these bigger exchanges that are maybe not into listing memes, but they are heavily into GameFi. And the other thing is the no tax. So that's another reason that a lot of exchanges don't like tokens with tax, because it causes a lot of problems in them calculating. When users deposit, they get 2% less than they originally expected. It causes a lot of difficulty calculating how much people can withdraw and things like that. So this should help a lot. So that's, again, one of the main reasons that we're releasing ZOGI is for this reason. So we can be much more exchange friendly. And it's a big upgrade to the token. It makes it a much more professional token that should be more widely accepted in the crypto industry. So how do you get ZOGI? As we just said, you wrap it. So here is a little preview of how you get in. So at the moment, we have the ZOGI Labs account. You won't need to have an account in order to wrap, but it will also be directly within your account. You'll be able to do everything. But basically, either in the ZOGI account or on the ZOGI Labs website, you'll come in and you'll be able to go directly into the wrapping UI. So in the wrapping tab here, we have basically you choose how much Bezoge on the left-hand side you want to wrap. Very similar to doing a transaction on Uniswap. You'll type how much Bezoge you want to wrap. It'll tell you an estimate amount of ZOGI that you should get. And then you click approve, you approve the token, and next step, you'll then actually just wrap the token. So it'll say approve. This button here at the bottom right will say approve. And then after you've approved, it'll say wrap. And then for unwrapping, exactly the opposite. So you would click that little arrow in the middle. The tokens will flip around. It'll say ZOGI on the left, Bezoge on the right. And you can unwrap and you choose how much ZOGI you want to unwrap, and then you'll get your Bezoge. It's a very, very simple process. I see Zach has some comments.
So simple. No, it's super clean interface.
Yeah. So how do I move ZOGI between chains? I like that comment is covering up Nick's face. It's lovely. Right. How do I move ZOGI between chains? So this is the bridge that we've been working on. So one of the big things with our bridge that we're really focusing on is speed and convenience. One of the most frustrating things with bridges is that they tend to be terrifying. I mean, you put your tokens in, you burn them, and then you have no tokens, right? You're sitting there for a long period of time, just waiting with that loading bar on the screen, and you're just waiting for the tokens to be validated so that you can remove them on the other side. We've tried to build the fastest bridge we possibly can. The goal, at least in the beginning, is internally we're trying to make it work within around 1 minute. It may be unachievable, but at least we'll be as close to 1 minute as we possibly can. So from you clicking the bridge button, you should be able to then withdraw on the second chain very quickly, hopefully within about 1 minute. But it should be something around 1 to 2 minutes. And I think the fastest bridges I've seen at the moment are around 10 minutes, to give you an idea of how much faster it should be than other bridges. So you should be able to move between chains really fast. And again, very similar. You just choose how much ZOGI you want to move. See at the top, you can choose Ethereum chain. On the to section at the bottom, you can choose which chain you want to move to. And then you just click approve the tokens on Ethereum chain, and then you move forward to the next step. And as you can see here, there'll be multiple chains. So here's where people can maybe guess. You can see a couple of chains there that'll be the original 2 that we're launching on. The eagle-eyed might be able to spot. But this is basically a very simple process. And then again, for bridging, you can bridge from any chain to any chain. You don't need to do it through the Ethereum chain. This is just an example here.
This is going to be quite a product. This is going to be quite a product. Quite
there's a little bit of a sneak peek of the other things that are on the left-hand side here as well, for those that are maybe eagle-eyed as well. There's a whole load of different functionality that we've already built out. I see Malcolm's face when I said that. But yeah, we've designed the whole interface. Yeah. Someone is saying here, can you wrap Bezoge into ZOGI and then send to Ledger? Yes, you can. You can use Ledger. And there's a lot of questions about security of bridges. We definitely have designed this with security in mind. It will be audited. We're doing multiple audits on the contracts. We also are working closely with AWS to secure our server as much as possible. We're also using some technology that is used on centralized exchanges in order to encrypt the private keys that are stored on the server. So even if someone is to there's multiple servers as well, multi-sig for the bridge. There'll be multiple validators. But even if someone was to hack the server, they still don't actually have access to the private keys, and so they wouldn't be able to do anything. They wouldn't be able to sign any transactions because the private keys are stored within an encrypted vault themselves. That is impossible to get into.
Quick question. Unlike Ronin, where the bridge was actually holding value, our bridge is not necessarily going to be holding that much user value, right? It's just a one-way A to B kind of transaction, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference. So, I mean, basically, between most bridges have hundreds of millions of dollars stored in them because they have multiple tokens. They support almost every token. We don't. We just support our token at the moment. We may in future support other tokens that are used within our ecosystem. Things like USDT, things like, other tokens that may be used within the ecosystem, but we won't necessarily have hundreds of tokens on there. And also, the fact that, I mean, the bridge, to give people an idea, there's a lot of security questions coming up. The majority of hacks on bridges is internal issues, internal security issues, rather than actually exploits. So we have a whole load of security protocols that we're putting in place for employees that all have access to these servers. And we have our lead backend dev who has a degree in cybersecurity that is managing the security of the server itself to ensure it's extremely secure. And no one person will have access to all the private keys on all the validators. So it would be impossible for one person within our team as well to hack it if they wanted to, because that's the majority of the hacks. There's very few hacks right now on bridges. Like even the BNB. The BNB one is probably the only one I can think of that was actually an exploit. The rest, most of them are internal security issues. So yeah, we're focusing on making the fastest and most secure bridge that we possibly can. And we
We're
think
gonna
that we
give,
can make something that's around 1 to 2 minutes. Should be the most convenient bridge that exists on chain at the moment, actually.
we'll give the last part of the password to Nick because he never says a word. So
Good one. That was a
hey, good morning.
But for sure, security is a big concern of ours, and that's why it'll be double audited. One of the audits will be Certic, one of them another company, but two very professional audit companies will be auditing it, and we'll ensure that it's secure before we launch the product. And we'll share those audits before we launch the product as well. And again, like I said, we're working closely with AWS on their side and getting their advice on how we can secure the servers using their systems as much as possible. So it should be extremely secure. I think that's it. Okay, so your launch date soon.
I actually wanted to mention that, you know, if you really look at the history of Bezoge token and how it's getting into ZOGI now, this is quite a unique kind of evolution when it comes to crypto, because ZOGI, the purpose it fulfills, the multi-utilities it receives, it's never been ever been attributed to a token that's gone into fair distribution. So this is actually quite interesting, ZOGI as a concept itself, because it's already fully distributed. So I like what's happening. I like what's happening to the future of Bezoge. Quick question, Steve, for old school people like me. If I decide to
I'm
keep,
going to go back while we have this so that people don't think that it's actually just going to be soon.
Could there's actually a comment by on our Facebook page, which is somebody's impersonating our official account. So I just want to put the
Yeah, I
community-
tried to. Yeah, please. That is not us. I just tried to remove it, but StreamYard is not connected to our Facebook account anymore, so I can't actually do it. But
Yeah.
we'll try to get that deleted. Farwa, can you maybe get onto Facebook and delete that comment? It's a scam, so please.
Yeah,
On Facebook, do not. That is not us. It's a fake account. Yeah. Right. Let me move forward because everyone is probably waiting for this. The launch date soon. Of course. This is not. We're just trolling you. We're just trolling you. It's not actually soon. Not actually soon. I mean, it is soon, but I mean, it's the end of November, so it should be the end of this month.
Right.
We're not going to give you an exact date. We'll let you speculate on that. I wish I could have done a drum roll there. Yeah, Dak is sending me drum roll in the private messages. I wish I could have done a drum roll, but it's this month, so you'll see launching on 3 different chains. 3 different chains this month, with the wrapper on day 1, the bridge coming very shortly after. But yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. Zach, did you have anything to add?
Man, all I can say is that I know a lot. I'm allowed to give some leaks heading into the next AMA, but DM me this time around. I'm more open to leaking out a little bit more details. But no, I think moving into the next AMA is going to be a lot of the reasons why the migration is valuable for people. There's going to be some announcements on all these products, these unique products, and how they're linking in. There's going to be a lot more leading up to what ZOGI is, but I don't want to take too much thunder away from the marketing team, you know?
Yeah. The marketing team has reeled Zach in a little bit on his leaks and his on these AMAs. So there's a lot of plans. There's a lot of plans, you know, for the releases over the next few weeks, and we're going to keep an eye on socials. There will be a lot of posts explaining how ZOGI works with some graphics. We'll be sharing which chains we're launching on. And yeah, there'll be more information coming over the next few weeks on social. So do keep an eye, because there'll be a lot coming. It's going to be a fun November. There's a lot to do. So yeah. I see Will is saying Malcolm sweating every time Zach talks. Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's all part of the plan, though, Steve. You know, Zach's in on this. It's creating stress for you as part of our teaser plan.
Yeah, and we're saying from Jamie, how can we give a launch date if it's not been audited yet? We're very confident that the audit will. The contracts are not that complex, and we have very good blockchain devs. We're pretty confident that the audit will be smooth. The audit takes about a week, and then a re-audit takes about another week after that. So we have plenty of time to submit it, get it audited, make the fixes that are required, and do another audit to ensure it's fine by the end of the month. But I'm pretty sure we're going to pass on the first audit anyway.
I mean, the coding was completed and rechecked already. It just needs to go external now.
The code has been coded by one developer, and then it goes to a peer review by two other blockchain developers internally. They check it. They've already gone through 2 rounds of edits, and they've got it to the point that they're very confident that it's completely fine. And now it goes essentially to 2 more external auditors. We have already audited the code internally. It's now an external audit. So that's why we can be confident about the end of the month.
There was a good.
And we know that the audit will take about a week.
There's a good comment here, and I was about to ask that. Like, I might just hold Bezoge in its original format. It doesn't change anything for me, right? I can still enjoy the reflections and whatnot.
Yeah, changes absolutely nothing. They're both tokens are supported. Both liquidity pools will remain. It's not a migration, it's an addition. It's a new token in the ecosystem that allows people to move around essentially on cheaper chains, and also allows people to move their tokens around on wallets, between wallets, without having to pay the 2% tax. But if you ever want to unwrap it to Bezoge and sell again, then you can. But yeah, there's the 2% tax on Bezoge, and you don't have to. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I know exactly why everyone should be wrapping. And I think that the next AMA, there'll be a lot of announcements as to exactly how much you could do with ZOGI. Okay, yeah, I think that was an important question that, hey, if I'm just OG and I want to keep my tokens the way they are, I'm still getting my taxes and whatnot, so I'm happy that way, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you can, like I said, you can get your redistribution by holding ZOGI or Bezoge because of the way that the wrapping works. We can maybe put together some more posts about exactly how that works. Probably a bit of an FAQ for the wrapping so that people can understand fully. We'll probably also put it in the white paper. There'll probably be an update to the white paper before the launch at the end of the month that will explain everything to people. So should be very clear. Okay, maybe we can move forward. This was probably for me the most exciting thing. We've been wanting to share this for a long time. Yeah, I'm very excited for the end of the month when people can finally trade ZOGI. It'll be nice to have three new pairs are running on different chains as well. I'm quite excited for that. The good thing about the new chains, it opens up the audience completely, you know. With the lower gas fees on these other chains, it allows people to come in and, you know, buy $5, $10, and because they're not worried about the gas fees. At the moment, paying the gas fees on ETH can be quite expensive. You know, you might have to pay $10, $20, sometimes $100 for a transaction. So it doesn't make sense if you only want to buy $5, $10 of token. But now this opens up to a whole load of people that can make small investments, maybe buy $10 a month, something like that. Just that's what they're comfortable with. Then now we can support that. So I hopefully will see a lot more exposure from these new chains, and the chains that we support should do nothing but grow. So the plan is not to have just 3. Hopefully we'll have 10, 15, you know, any chains that we believe are important to the ecosystem and can bring value, we will support as a project, and we want to grow it as much as we possibly can.
It's important, Steve, right? You have to become more gamer friendly. You might have audiences that just hold a few dollars of your token and maybe just one asset like a sword. So for the audience, like engaging with these chains just allows us to be able to cater to every audience out there. And that's the main effect that I think it's going to have, is we're going to start getting more distributed to all other users, whether microtransactions or whatever the case is. But we're going to be attracting a lot more crowd and liquidity. And that's the whole purpose of going multi-chain without increasing the supply.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be exciting. I'm very interested to see how people will handle the arbitrage opportunities with the different prices on different chains. The difference, the fact that ZOGI is constantly going up in value in terms of the amount of Bezoge per ZOGI, right? So the value of ZOGI should go up significantly over time, like in terms of Bezoge value, because of the redistribution that's being collected. It'll be interesting to see how people do the trades, and I look forward to hopefully seeing significant increase in the trading volume. There certainly should be with all the arbitrage opportunities that are available.
I think there should be a lot more excitement as well as more announcements come in. We explain people more about ZOGI. God, Steve, just looking at you stops me, but I want to say a few more things, but that's okay. I think the value for people to migrate, and a lot of that's going to be explained in the next AMA as well.
Yeah. And the lower gas fees, it'll be nice. I think it'll be nice. So, right, let's move forward. That is ZOGI, that is blockchain. That's the majority of what we've been working on. End of the month. So let's move forward. Game development, I'll pass it on to Benji. The floor is yours,
sure.
Benji.
Okay, so for the game development, can you go to the next slide? So we have a big update coming for the Bezoge. So we will reveal it kind of slowly. It's like I think it will make them look a lot better. Really a better style, like a huge change in the game. We've tested it already in the game. It looks much better. I think it will be a big improvement. We'll be curious to see like how people react to it, but I'm sure like most people will really like it. And we'll post on social medias in the next few days, like kind of tease it, show kind of a puzzle of it, so you guys can stay tuned and you'll see.
Oh, don't share. Who shared that? Yeah, who shared that?
Yeah.
That's the scam post.
Please,
that was not us.
We're not giving away
we've deleted it from Facebook. It's just still on.
There is no giveaway for free ETH.
Yeah.
In fact, Stingy Steve won't even give away free stuff for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
If the IRS asks you for gift cards, also don't.
Some people have been buying my my Halloween outfit recently. Stingy CEO Halloween outfit.
I think it's sold out. I saw a few people in London with it on. Around.
Okay, Benji, sorry, we're taking the floor away from you.
The
new Bezoge look incredible, by the way. Benji is the only person in the entire team that has actually seen them running around in the game. He's been integrating them into the game the last few days. Up until now, they've just been being modeled and tested in another environment. He's now seen them running around in Bezogia. So I've asked him to share videos. He's not done so yet. Hint, maybe that's a little bit of a hint, Benji.
They tweak a little bit too before it's like fully ready.
Pixar, it didn't happen, Benji.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I think you guys will see there's like some kind of interesting things like I mean you guys will see like there's like jiggle bones on the ears and stuff like that. I mean like a lot more polish and
I've seen it. I've seen them. I've seen them. I'm not gonna say much. I'm just gonna say that when it comes to gaming assets, they're gonna look AAA. And I don't think you're gonna have a gaming asset that looks that good when you see it on OpenSea. But that's all I can say right now.
Yeah, I think we improved a lot the map before, and I think we kind of like the Bezoge kind of stayed the same, and we kind of wanted to make a big upgrade on it. So I think it will make the whole game experience a lot more consistent and a lot nicer.
Oh, I can imagine. They look so much better. So they're much more. We released the Bezoge before we had created the entire world, right? And this has been a community development experience where we've been just not making things up as we go, but we've been coming up with the concept as we go, and the concept has been evolving. And this change to the characters really allows them to fit in, because we designed the Bezogi before we designed the world, and now we made the world so much better. It was time to make the Bezogi match, and they look so much better. I think people will love them when they see them.
Oh, the Bezoge holders
Yeah.
right now are just gonna absolutely love the new upgrade.
Oh, the NFT upgrade as well. There's a significant upgrade to what you see on the NFTs with some nice. I'll not give much away, but there might be some little animations coming in there.
That's what I was talking about the whole time. That how good they're gonna be looking.
That's really good.
OpenSea will really come to life. That's all I'll say. When you scroll through the list, it will be alive. It'll be very much alive.
Keep pushing me, guys. Keep pushing me, and I'll keep pushing them to keep saying more.
Yeah, like I think it would be really cool. It will be really cool, and they look more like especially for the NPCs. I mean, the previous one looked kind of awkward. I think we'll kind of improve that really a lot. So it will be a big change. So stay tuned, guys. We'll keep you updated on the social medias. And
Benji, are we hoping to see some of this magic in November?
No comment.
I had some dates, but I shouldn't.
Yeah, Benji had made a whole slide. Benji had made a whole slide with all the dates of the release of all these Bezogia and everything, and I deleted it before the AMA. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
me and Malcolm deleted it, and
I just
didn't allow him to
see
see the dates.
Press the
we should replace all the dates with soonish. Kind of, yeah. So, yeah.
We've just got to drag out the hype, keep people guessing. You can't just release it all at once. Then what will you have to look forward to next AMA?
Okay, I see.
Exactly.
Sure.
So yeah, for the weapon skills. Also, I don't know if you can start the video, Steve, or if it was. Is the video working?
I couldn't open the video.
Oh, okay. So well, it looks pretty good. This basically, it's like each groups of weapons. Like later we'll have maybe more granularity for that. But
actually, that's a lot. I'm gonna download it now. I've got it to open now, so I can share it. If you give me a few minutes, I'll share it with. I'll share it on here.
So basically, each type of weapon will have its own special ability. So what you'll see later is for a sword. Basically, you have a special attack in addition to the normal attack. So if you press a button, so you see another player that's not press video, but it looks basically you can see that he's making not just a simple attack, but it's kind of a combo of attacks, and different weapons will have different kind of combos that you trigger with another. With the Q, and so I think this will make the combat a lot more interesting, and different weapons will have different skills. So some it will make more sense to kind of change between hammers, axes, etc.
I like the screen. Oh, you don't see the screen shake. There's actually for the player. There's actually a shake of the screen. The screen actually vibrates as you're doing it, and there's also the little blocks. I love the effects. We have particle effects on all of these different weapon skills. So you can see the swipe and all the little blocks that are coming off of the weapon. These are the sort of effects that we have. This is a very simple effect because it's a basic weapon, but yeah, the bigger, more legendary weapons will have much more impressive effects as well. This is just a concept to show.
Yeah,
I say it's a concept. It's actually integrated into the game already, but
yeah,
I think there's 8 weapon skills for the swords already integrated, 8 unique skills, and there'll be more coming soon.
Yeah, I think that will be interesting, and yeah, this should be quite a lot of fun. For the quest log, so that's kind of an important feature. So it's almost ready. I mean, we need to tweak it a little bit, but it's already kind of integrated. And I think that will make the quest a lot more readable. So you could see all the list of quests that you have in progress, the ones that you have completed, etc. And so it will make it more readable. From the menu, you will be understanding where you have to go for the next step of the quest. where you're at, what's the reward, etc. And I think that was like a really important feature to make the quests clearer and more interesting to play. So yeah. Also, like there's a new addition on Whale on Musk. It's kind of who's accumulating companies. So this is like the texture is not finished yet but actually it's kind of a castle on top of Whale on Musk, and
looks like a little bird.
Yeah, it looks like a little
I wonder
bird.
why.
Yeah, I have no idea what it represents, but like I think some of you might guess. And it's I think it will be
a small sink. Is that a very small sink in the sky there? I can see.
It will be. And
Is there actually a sink in there? I don't know if I see a sink. I'm just looking. Is there actually a
Why
sink?
can't we have why can't we have a Tweety bird with the face of Elon on it?
I mean, that is a
We
bird.
could-
Just have the bird look like a whale.
that could be cool too. Yeah, like I think
This was the most recent stream. So for those that don't know, this was actually the most recent development stream that Samuel and Benji did. Samuel modeled this like building on Waylon's back during the stream, and so if you want to look and see how we create this, please check out the latest stream on YouTube, and you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, and on every Friday, there will be like live streams. So if you want to if you have some ideas, like crazy ideas like that, don't hesitate to share them with us, because we always like to add like some community feedbacks, and like sometimes people give us ideas, like really good ideas during the streams, and so we like it's really good to hear. So yeah, don't hesitate to tune in for that.
Yeah.
And yes, except that like we're working on the dungeons. I think this will be coming soon. Like we've also shown on stream like some like creation of a troll cave, so that I think it will make it very interesting in the game. One of the goals for it is also like making it more manageable for like mobile platforms. So in the next few days, a couple of weeks at least, we'll be working on testing the game more on Android. So we've tested it already like before, and things were running fine. Actually, the game is more optimized now, so it should run fine also on Android. But we kind of want to make sure of it, and that like all the features we've added don't like impact it, and if we like how to optimize it further to have like more low-end devices, etc., that are supported. And so yes, so I think that will be like one of the future things we'll do in the next couple of weeks. Also,
these dungeons are not just the big dungeons that we developed on stream, like the troll cave that we did on stream last week.
Yeah.
They're also the mini dungeons, right? So we have these mini dungeons that you find. I don't know if you would even call them dungeons, but they're like little mini battles that you go into that are kind of like mini dungeons, like 1v1 or 5v1. They're very quick battles that allow you to remove yourself from the main world into like a small, unique little map that is just a battle against one type of enemy within there. So that should be quite fun as well. It will make the game a lot more dynamic and allow us to have much better combat and more exciting gameplay on mobile, because trying to have a whole lot of cool effects and things going on when there's hundreds of people in the map is something that can't really be done on mobile. I mean, it can, but it may have some performance issues on lower end devices. So rather than have everything happening, all this crazy combat happening in the main map, you'll go out into these little mini maps and have combat in there. So it should be a really fun experience running around, exploring these mini maps as well.
Yeah, I think that should be an interesting part of the game. We've also like the leaderboard that is in preparation. I think that's something that will make things cooler, since like the back end of the game is more like more closer to being finished. So we've had like we're adding the leaderboard now. We'll store like I think there will be the XP. We'll see what we'll have at first. XP and some blocks you earned during some period of time, and so we'll be able to run some competition, like kind of get something cool out of like for the community. I guess we'll announce more precisely what the competitions will be. But like I think having a leaderboard where you can compete with all the players will make the test sessions a lot more interesting. And yeah, I think that's it for the game development. And yeah, I see someone in the comments said.
Oh no, there's one more, Benji. You missed one slide.
Yeah, that's the leaderboard. Yeah, just mentioned it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Benji, how do you see these dungeons and their economies running? And how do you see that? Would there be any user input, or would it mostly be system when it comes to these dungeons? Like, how do you envision the economy of these instances running, right? Because they're going to be...
That's a good question. I think we have a few ideas. I think since like some of these we like kind of are still at a sort of brainstorming phase, so we can't like not completely sure we could like announce it. Yeah, but like I think we kind of want like some of the dungeons to be kind of generated procedurally in some ways, like maybe smaller dungeons, like will be still like be large ones, like maybe like the troll caves and stuff, and others that could be some aspects of creation of it and make things more like dynamic and interesting. And yeah, I think I don't want to say too
like
much.
Dynamic, Benji. Rover likes dynamic, so I like that you used the word dynamic there.
The reason I was asking is because generally, as you're adding these kind of smaller mini economies, right, it makes a big difference to MBLK holders, to ZOGI holders, right? Because you're getting to extend the use of these things out. So when I asked about the generation of it, if it's user generated, if it's system generated, this all adds to the overall economy. That's why I was asking, like, how do you envision these smaller mini economies to be running? But like you said, if it's there and it can't come up here today, that's fine. But maybe we'll pick it up at the next AMA, you know?
Sure. I think there will be. I think we'll probably have a clear idea for that. I mean, we have a lot of like really cool ideas for this. We kind of need to test it a bit further just to make sure that we can realize it. But I think it could be really interesting. It will be an interesting part of the game, and also like maybe also an interesting part of the game economy. So should be interesting.
I mean, the mini dungeons should make the game a lot more exciting. We can have a lot of really cool things going on in there, and it'll remove people from the main world, right? I think that as big and amazing as the main world is, it's nice to get out into these unique experiences every time you play. And especially it brings in that fun element of trying to find the rare enemies. Like, you don't know what you're going to find, you know. You run into these portals, you run into these enemies, and you go into these fights, but you have no idea what fight you're getting into until you're in there. And so every time you play the game, you can run around and explore different areas of the map, but each area will still have the probability of seeing the more common enemies and then the rarer enemies. So coming across a rare enemy will be a lot more exciting, right? Because when you do come across it, you need to kill it, because if you don't, it's gone. You know, if it kills you, there's no second chances, right? You don't get to come back and go into the same portal again. If you die, the portal closes and that enemy's gone. So it's like you need to have the best weapons. You need the best weapons possible. You need to, you know, have your friends in there to support you. You need to ensure that you're doing a good job every time you get in. You need to have some tactics that you have to kill these more difficult enemies, so that when you do find them, you actually are going to kill them. Because if you die, they're gone. And so I think this brings a whole new element of sort of mystery to the game, right? That element of mystery of you don't know what's... It's like, as Forrest Gump says, there's a good quote for Farwa to post on socials. That's they said, life's like a box of chocolates.
Box of chocolates, yeah.
Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right? So, I mean, every time you open up the game, you don't know what's going to be in there. And it makes it much more addictive to open up the game every time you have an opportunity, because you want to make sure you come into these, like, rare battles, right? You want to find these rare enemies that you didn't find. You might play for an entire session and every enemy is common, and then the next session you might get really lucky and come across 3 like really rare enemies that you can tick off the list and get big rewards for. So I think it's going to make it a really interesting game that makes you want to keep playing all the time because of the randomized aspect of some of these, the probability based rather than randomized, actually, like low probability chance of finding these really rare enemies. Because if they're just in the map and everyone knows where they are, everyone would just be hanging around at the rare enemies, right? I mean, that's one of the things you have to consider when we have a game that you can earn in, is that exact issue, that if everyone knows where that enemy is, everyone would just be hanging around at the rare ones. You know, and there would be websites that would tell you where the rare ones are, and there would be bots that were just going around finding rare enemies all the time and killing them before anyone else gets a chance. So by randomizing it, making it more difficult, this makes it a more enjoyable experience for the players. Also, kind of like Pokemon Go to a certain extent, where, you know, you had to actually, you literally had to walk around in Pokemon Go in real life to find these rare forests. So cheap. Okay, I can see Ernesto's entry into the NPC contest coming. But yeah, I mean, this is going to add that element of, you know, when there's rare enemies around, you need to get in and fight them. You know, when you find one, you need to win as well. So there'll be frustration, I can imagine, that if you find like, let's say you walk into Donald Pump and you've been searching for a whole month and you've never bumped into a single one, and you eventually find him and then he kills you. I mean, that will be extremely frustrating, but that's why, you know, you want to make sure you have the best weapons. You want to make sure you have your friends in there helping you, and working as a team to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, maybe we can move forward to the giveaway. Farwa. Benji, anything to add before we go forward? Are you all good?
That's more it. Also, just one thing for the dungeons. Like, we mentioned them as dungeons usually, but these are like kind of instances, so they won't necessarily be like underground in a dark place. Some will be kind of like, could be like, for instance, on the back of like Elon Musk or something in the sky, so that they could be like some fun things like that. So it's not just like, it could be cool, lots of ways to create dungeons that are not necessarily dungeons.
Yeah, they're more like the quest instances, right? They're like they're quests that are within another world. And that world could also be within the existing world, like on the back of Elon Musk, for example, like you said, yeah. Where you actually go to another server and what's below you is not the same server as you were in before, but, you know, you're on Elon Musk's back and battling in that city. I think that'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
I'd like to have I'd like to have the Elon Musk dungeon. I think it would be really fun. Maybe with some robots, some like car manufacturing robots trying to kill you, and, you know, and maybe some birds flying at you from left, right, and center from some offensive people's mouths to represent all the people that have been unbanned from Twitter. I think some of these things can be really fun, and so I think that's the beauty of what we can do with these instances. We can there's anything, we can do whatever we want, and we can take these really funny things from the real world that people are enjoying and integrate that into the game. And I think that's what makes us different from most other games that exist. Okay, so Farwa, do you want to move on with the giveaway?
Benji, just one thing. There is a beta testing session tonight, isn't there, at 9 p.m. UTC, right?
Yeah. And Malcolm, you have really bad background noise, by the way.
So about the beta testing sessions, there's been a request that if any of them fail and Benji's nowhere to be found, he has to bring his cat to the next AMA. I'm like,
with pleasure.
Cat the whole next AMA. All right, Benji, are we okay with that?
Okay, yeah, sure. I could actually bring even my cat to the office. So.
Okay, and the second failed beta session is a haircut. I'm just letting you know. This is all communicated.
I'll have my head shaved during the next AMA if the beta session is. I can't promise that, but yeah, I'll bring my cat.
Okay. But I'm trying to work out, the background noise is still there, so it's not Malcolm. Maybe it's you, Farwa. Maybe there's some background noise on your side.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it can be me. I'm in literally a soundproof box.
But I was mute. I was mute throughout. Like, I just unmuted myself. It was you, Malcolm.
Yeah,
back there,
background noise. Yeah, the background noise is on your side, Farwa. Every time you unmute, I can hear it, yeah. Okay, it's fine. So, Farwa, do you want to continue with the giveaway?
Yeah, I want. Okay, so let's just go. Oh, I need to share my screen. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Zach is calling Farwa ma'am since she abruptly ended our last Twitter space. She came in as the boss and told us we
It was
weren't allowed to
10
continue.
p.m. in Pakistan. It was 10 p.m. in Pakistan.
Careful,
I had
Steve.
to go
she
back
bites.
to home. Okay, so we have 294 entries. Ta-da!
All right.
Yeah, should we show some
294?
excitement? Yeah, okay. Oh, 253. Let's just say that again. Okay,
So
let's
guys,
see.
this is very important when you guys are like applying or participating in the giveaway. Make sure you follow all the steps because the checker just disqualified like 40 or 50 people, which means you forgot to either tag or something that was part of the giveaway. So make sure when you do the giveaways, you follow all the steps.
Yeah, whatever Zach says. So we're gonna start the draw. 1, 2, 3, go! Ta-da! Dun, 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 dun.
Broadcast Blues, no way.
Broadcast Blues.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Broadcast.
Wow,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Not broke anymore.
He's been, from Malcolm, in case you don't know, he's been in the community from like day one.
From Broadcast Blues.
Broadcast
How
has
is he
been
broke?
here for.
How is
Congrats,
he broke?
He's-
Did he just not?
I'm not sure why he's definitely not broke. But his name is Broadcast Blues. I know he's not broke.
Yeah, Chef Willis, I don't win either.
Congratulations.
I've got at least 10 entries in every Twitter giveaway. It just never works.
So, congratulations, Broke Ass Blue. I don't know why this name sounds weird, but anyway, congratulations, and please reach out to us on Twitter,
Yeah, congratulations.
guys. We can.
Yeah, congratulations, Broadcast.
Reach out to
I'm
Farwa.
glad you won.
Just reach out to her, but don't get too close. Yeah, keep distance if you want to stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Are we done?
Okay. Let's go back to
So I
the
think,
let's go back giveaway. Congratulations, Broadcast, once again. Nice to see some early community members winning these giveaways. It's not quite what Willis won when he won a board ape before, but we do our best. Unfortunately we can't give away a board ape every week. It would be nice if we could. Maybe one day we'll give away a board ape. You never know. I've given Zach ideas now. He's going to be telling me to buy a board ape for like the next few months so that we can give it away.
I mean,
Okay,
we're starting
Q&A.
we're starting more giveaways. So we have the NPC contest, and I mean I think we said that's just the beginning. So we're going to be doing a lot more beta tester specific contests to really reward our early beta testers. So yeah, just watch out for them. They're coming.
Yeah, I mean the main thing is the giveaway. That there is a giveaway kind of. It's a competition that's going on right now with the NPC contest. I think the top prize is $1,000, Malcolm. $1,000, 500, and 250.
Yeah.
And then there's a few
And I mean-
$100 prizes, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I mean there is cash prize, but I mean the main thing is getting your NPC in Legends of Bezogia, which I mean I think is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I think so too. But then after that, like Malcolm was saying, the goal is to run more giveaways actually within the game. But again, not really giveaways, more competitions. And once we have the leaderboards within the game, which should be very soon, as Benji said, we'll actually be able to do some competitions within beta testing itself. And that should be really fun. We should get a lot of players coming in because if we're giving away, if there's a lot of money at stake, people can actually compete, run around, kill some trolls, some shibs, and actually start earning some money by being the top players. I think you might have some big competition from Michael Chiola, since he's played about 600 hours of the game so far. So He's got a lot of experience of how to kill the enemies quickly. He might be at the top of the leaderboard. I wouldn't be surprised. But
I saw his question. He was like, "Yeah, guys, I'm at like level 36 and I'm kind of stuck on something." And I'm like, "What? How did he actually get that far? Was it level 26 or 36? I can't remember."
It's probably 36. I'm not gonna lie. He's a bit of a beast when it comes to Legends of Bezogia.
He's a legend.
He's reached a plateau though. It gets a lot slower when you get higher up. So, but yeah, 26. Okay, he's just said 26.
26.
But yeah, expect that we'll run some actual competitions for the best players within the game, and do give away some either Bezoge prizes or maybe some US dollar prizes, USDT prizes. Yeah, we'll certainly start running competitions within the game as well, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So make
also,
the most
with
of
regards to that, we actually approved over 2,000 people to be beta testers yesterday. So I believe, Benji, that's one thing you didn't mention. I think, Benji, you wanted to do a mini test at the end of this. There is a session tonight later, but Benji is also running for the new version. We'll be running a mini test right after this AMA. Is that right, Benji?
We'll see. I'm testing a few things actually at the moment, just making sure everything works. So
okay, Benji is always multitasking.
I'm not making any promise for the small test, but I think should be
keep an eye on. If you're a beta tester, keep an eye on Discord. We may do a little mini test in advance of the actual beta test session itself. So keep an eye on the Discord, and you may have a little mini session, an unofficial. Let's call it an unofficial test prior to the main test later. So keep an eye on Discord, and if you want to play the game, then you can. But there's a lot more players who've been approved. So over 2,000 people were approved yesterday, and there was another 200 signups today. So we're trying to approve people a lot faster now. So anyone that signs up should get approved reasonably fast now. Okay, so on to the Q&A. I think, should we start off with the questions that are in the comments, Malcolm? I see you've been starring a lot.
Yeah, I've started a few.
Let me do a speed run. I'll do a speed run of these questions like last time. When is the game released? That's Q1 2020. Is it 2023?
Yeah.
What's the total amount? That's a good question. I don't know what that question is actually related to.
So that's 44 million. I mean, it was related to ZOGI.
Okay, that's the total, the maximum supply of ZOGI. It's actually dynamic. It changes. So as Bezoge is being burnt, the maximum supply of ZOGI is actually linked to that. So the total amount of Bezoge in circulation, divide that by 1 billion, and that is the total amount of ZOGI that can exist.
Yep. And just for current stats, the 56.5% of the supply is burned. So you have 43.5 in circulation at this point.
Yeah, currently 43. If we were to launch ZOGI today, the maximum total supply would be 43.5 million, and then you'd actually have to take off around 1.1% to factor in for the redistribution, like the tax of how much would be burnt when people are wrapping ZOGI itself. So around 42.5 million actually would be the maximum supply, because 1% would be burnt. Just over 1% would be burnt as people were transacting. We're wrapping. Okay, so what would the anticipated max differential be between the chain differences? I mean, the maximum difference could essentially be unlimited, but we will be running our own market making to try and balance that out. So, if someone suddenly buys 100 ETH on ETH and the price goes up 50%, for example, then the other two would be 50% out of sync. So that would depend on how much someone buys on one chain. But what we'll do is we'll try to balance them out as much as possible by buying on the other chains, and then averaging the price out. So rather than let's say one chain going up 30%, we would rather have all three chains going up 10%. But that's something that will happen naturally over time as well. Do we have to have ETH in wallet to wrap, or is it deducted from the Bezoge you own? You need ETH in your wallet to pay for gas fees, but it's the Bezoge that you own. So you don't need to buy ZOGI. You wrap the Bezoge that you currently have, and it becomes ZOGI at a rate of around 1 billion to 1. It will be slightly more than 1 billion to 1, factoring in the redistribution layer. Who is Nico M? Nico M is actually the designer. He uses his own name on all of the graphics. So he's our designer, and yeah, he likes to put his name on as the profile all the time.
Can we have a symbolic zero burning party? I mean, it's not a technical one, but can we have a symbolic one, since like 7 zeros?
We can maybe put together some nice graphics of some zeros being burnt for ZOGI. That would be a nice little. I'm sure Granizo could put together a nice little animation of all the zeros being burnt to explain what ZOGI is. Could be fun. Symbolic.
Yeah. Have a little counter that says that if the amount of tokens you still had in your wallet after 7 zeros are burnt would be equal to so much.
Yeah. I actually think it would be a cool NPC if someone wants to put together that NPC idea. Maybe some Bezogis around the fire burning zeros. I think that would be a cool group of NPCs. Just throwing zeros onto the fire. Just
creating an imaginary 70,000x.
Yeah, I think it would be I think it would be really cool actually, burning zeros on the fire. What do you think, Benji?
I think we should burn some zeros.
Yeah, that could be fun.
In a way.
It would maybe even be cool if we changed. We're getting a bit off track. It'd maybe even be cool if we changed the. Maybe discuss this on the Twitter space. If we change the fire that we're using in the game to have some zeros coming out of it all the time, so there's always some zeros being burnt on the fire.
Yeah, that could be cool.
One thing before the next question, Stephen. One thing just before you answer this next question is that Farwa just shared the live link in the announcements channel in Discord. So if you want to come on and ask your question live, then you can win the fantastic Bezoge cap. I don't think anyone's wearing it today. I mean, Zach, what hat are you wearing?
Oh,
Steve was sporting it
I've got the gray and blue.
Gray and blue. I don't know if we have any of them. If we just have
there's a bunch of different colors in the Dubai office.
My hats have disappeared.
Yeah, if you want to, it's because everyone keeps winning them, keep shipping them every week. So many questions. But yeah, if you have a question and you want to come on and ask it live, then head to the Discord and click on the link and come and ask live.
Yeah. Right, these bridge questions, I went over this earlier. Yeah, we will look into insurance longer term, but we have a lot of safety measures, and we're pretty confident that we're going to make it as unhackable as we possibly can, to the point that it should be as secure as your bank. We're going pretty extreme on making it as secure as possible. But yeah, secure insurance.
Insurance is a good question. It's actually something that's possible today. Yeah. This is something I can actually something we can look into, because there is insurance provisions for this kind of for the kind of bridge we're building.
Yeah. Right. How many ZOGI tokens equals 1 trillion Bezoge? That's a very good question. I mean, a trillion is 1,000 billion, so it's 1,000 ZOGI is 1 trillion. Hope I got that right. I think it is. Yeah, 1,000. Okay, why not to add ETH DAI and USD option to bridge as well? So we will consider that in future. There is a world where we. Okay, some people are joining here. Did we share the link or something?
So this is where the security gets compromised, right? When you start adding liquidity like this into the bridges.
Yeah, but we will consider adding these things in later once the bridge is more tested. I mean, as people are beginning to use the bridge and we've, worked out all the kinks, not that there should be any big kinks or anything like that, but once it's been running for a while, we would consider to add other tokens in there that would be used in the ecosystem. And what we could do with that is have, without giving up too much, we could, for example, have pools of different tokens, and where you earn ZOGI for adding liquidity to the pool in the bridges. And what we would do is, with every time someone bridges, we have a small fee that would be paid in ZOGI. So essentially, every time someone bridges, you would buy ZOGI. Let's say 0.3% or 0.25% fee to bridge, and that would be used to buy ZOGI on any transaction. So if we have the fastest bridge, which we believe we can do, that's something that would make a lot of sense. Because every time someone bridged, there would be a purchase happening on ZOGI. So that is an option in future. It's something we've actually considered. Any white hat hacker reward system for reporting? Not yet, but we will consider that. I have my Bezoge on Ledger. How will wrapping to ZOGI work in this case? Exactly the same as if you were holding it on MetaMask or whatever. You can link your MetaMask. You can link your ledger to MetaMask on desktop, and then you'll be able to do any transactions on our website that way through your ledger. You just have to confirm the transaction on your ledger, and you'll be able to use everything on the site through Ledger. Everyone in the team uses Ledger, by the way, so it will definitely work on Ledger. If it didn't, then we would be a bit screwed because we wouldn't be able to even use the platform ourselves. So everything will work perfectly on Ledger through MetaMask. So we gain Bezoge for holding in our wallets. Does that change when staking comes around? I don't 100% understand this, but I think you're meaning when holding ZOGI. If you're holding Bezoge, you'll always receive redistribution. So if you're talking about holding Bezoge, that is the case. If you're holding ZOGI, you also will still receive the redistribution, but it will be in the form of when you unwrap your ZOGI, you would receive more Bezoge. You still get the redistribution when you unwrap. So that's how that would work. So you'll always get the redistribution of Bezoge, no matter if you're holding Bezoge or ZOGI. Okay, will we be able to stake Bezoge, or will it have to be ZOGI? It'll be ZOGI. You'll wrap your Bezoge to ZOGI and stake the ZOGI, but it'll all be in a very seamless process where you can come into the staking platform and choose to stake your Bezoge. It's just that as part of that process, you will wrap the Bezoge when you stake it. So you'll stake Bezoge, but you'll actually be staking ZOGI. It'll just happen in a seamless transaction. It should be 2 transactions, but you'll just click one transaction on your MetaMask, approve it, and then the next one, and it'll go through. So it'll all be in one process. That'll be very simple to follow. Willis. Okay, Willis is asking about MBLKs. We didn't say that we would talk about MBLKs on this AMA. We said we would talk about ZOGI. No update on MBLKs publicly this week. Maybe something on next week's, but nothing we can talk about publicly yet. Is it possible to get a Bezogia character model download for Blender? Yeah, we do want to do that. We may integrate that into the system somehow. Benji, I don't know how we could do that, but maybe we could do it in WebGL. Actually give people the ability to download.
Yeah, I mean, I think the goal, like that was a question actually that came for during the stream. I think if that's something we'd like to make possible. I think we could make this is for the actually for the competition of NPCs. So he wants to make like a specific NPC, and I think that would make sense to make it available, like even just to the community, just the blend file of the Bezogia.
Yeah,
I think
we could do that.
Yeah.
So Liam, yeah, I think we could make the Bezogia available. There's no reason why not.
Yeah.
Although it will be the current Bezogia because we're not going to give you the new one yet.
Yeah.
But we could make that public. So maybe we could find a way that we can post that. I think maybe we could post a link somewhere on Discord, make that public. Maybe we could add it, Malcolm, to the giveaway, like to the competition, so that people, if they want to make their proper 3D character, then they can just click the download the blend file directly.
Yeah.
Okay. This question, I think I kind of just answered that with Willis. No update on MBLK this week. I was targeting / locking system. So we did update the targeting system. We're not having a lock system where you click and hold a button to lock. The main reason being, I did actually try and push the team to get that function, but they were very insistent that they don't want to add it on. The reason being, locking system is great if you're playing on console or if you're playing on PC. But if you're playing on mobile, it's a bit awkward because you kind of run out of, like if you think of it, you have the joystick on the left and you have the controls to fight on the right. Which finger do you use to hold the lock button when you're on mobile? It's kind of not possible because you need. It's hard unless you're using a finger on your screen, but then how do you hold your phone? It's a bit of an awkward experience. So we want the experience playing on mobile to be equal to the experience on desktop, essentially, as fair as possible. Because if you have a target system that's locked on by holding a button on desktop and not on mobile, it's a bit unfair. You have an advantage on desktop. So that's why we've built in a system that's very similar to like Genshin Impact, where it's auto-locking. So the enemy that is closest to you, you'll automatically lock onto them. If they're within a certain radius, when you click attack, it will always face the right direction. So you don't need to worry about that. Ron is saying, when Logan Paul? That's a good question. No comment. When can we communicate with our friends in the game? You can already. You can communicate on the world chat. Friend system will be coming later.
Yeah, the chat system was added back because it got like there was some issue that removed it for a while, but like it will be back today.
Yeah. Okay. Is it possible to get a Bezoge character model? Yeah, we went over that. We getting any YouTuber game hypes, men/women as beta testers? Good question. We will be doing influencer marketing at some stage, but again, the influencer will post before we do, so I can't really say anything about that. But we certainly do have a big database of influencers that we've already been in touch with to promote the game at the right time. When Ben cat in a trolley? That's a very good question.
Very good question.
I did see a cat in a trolley though somewhere. I don't know which chat group it was in, but there was one image floating around.
Yeah, I shared it today. I shared a picture of Ben's cat in a stroller today in Discord, because he sent me a picture of his cat. I asked him if he wanted to play Halo one day, and he sent me a picture of his cat in a stroller and said, I'm taking the cat out for a walk, so I can't play. So that's why I had a picture of Ben's cat in a stroller. Yeah. Okay, so can you wrap less Bezoge so you get 0.1 ZOGI? Yes, there'll be 18 decimals. The Bezoge has 9 decimals. The maximum on Ethereum is 18. ZOGI will support 18. So even if you had 9 decimals of accuracy on Bezoge, you'll be able to have down to the single token, down to 9 decimal places on Bezoge, which it supports. You'll be able to get that accuracy over on ZOGI as well. So you'll always be able to wrap every token that you have, because it's a billion and we're going from 9 to 18. So the 9 zeros, the decimals going from 9 to 18 supports the difference in the 2 tokens. Based on the last few months of beta testing, has the launch date moved in either direction? No, the launch date has not changed whatsoever. 1 trillion Bezoge equals ? Many ZOGI token. I think I answered that for Ron already. 1 trillion equals 1,000 ZOGI. And what's the approximate price per ZOGI? I think we actually had that on the screen. I can get the. Let me get it up. I think it's here. Oh no, this is the wrong question. Sorry, don't know why.
Yeah.
Let me get it. It's a bit glitchy. I'm gonna go back. Here we are. Oh, Malcolm, are you clicking at the same time as I am? Here we are.
I know.
It's the StreamYard is the glitchiest software ever. Sorry. There we are. Yeah. So if the current token price was 0.0, oh no, what's going on? Can you guys see the right slide?
It was on.
It's doing weird things for me.
Low gas.
It keeps switching between different slides. I don't know if someone's doing that. There we are. Yeah. Okay. Stay. Oh, who's doing that? I'm not pressing anything. Okay, there we go. Someone's messing around with me. But oh my God. I'm not even going to bother trying to show this anymore because it's just moving back and forward. If someone else is moving it, please stop. Okay, so if this is the current price, I think the current price is 861 rather than 85. But yeah, if it was 85, then it would be 85 cents. So it makes it much more manageable. If we were at $100 million fully diluted market cap, it would be $1. That's kind of the easy way to work out. At least in my head, that's the easy way to work out. Maybe I'm a bit weird with the way I calculate things, but I'm definitely a bit weird with the way I calculate things. Right. Let me get to these questions. We have the Q&A. Okay, let me. Q&A. Okay. Right. Last question that I have to show on the comments. I'll bring the people up that are in because there's a few people waiting to ask questions before we go into the ones that are on the deck. So what if I don't change my Bezoge tokens to Zogi? Will my Bezoge lose value? No. You could at any point switch your Bezoge tokens to Zogi and sell Zogi if Zogi goes up in price and Bezoge doesn't. But because of that case, the prices should be, this is the arbitrage opportunities that we're talking about. All of the prices should balance themselves out. Because if one token is worth more than the other, someone will always bridge the gap and sell on one side or buy on the other side to balance that out. That'll always happen. Yeah, for sure. Okay. We have Tyler has been waiting for a long time. I can see him sitting. Tyler, are you ready to come up? Can you give me a thumbs up before I don't want to put you on camera randomly when you're not ready. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, everyone. How are you doing?
Hey.
Good.
Good to see you. Love what you guys are doing. Do have a question and probably a follow-up question after that. So in the game, what are all the different ways that the reward pools are replenished? I know you've been over this, but been a holder for a long time trying to get new holders, and that seems to be a sticking point with some people. So how do I explain that and communicate that to people?
How do the pools get replenished? So the pools at the moment, there's 1,000th of what is in the earning pool goes in to becomes available for earning every day. And then that is distributed among all the different quests, all the different pools that we have. So let's say there was a dungeon for the basic troll. That would be replenished every day. And the more people that kill basic trolls, the less would be available to earn from killing basic trolls.
So where is that money coming from?
It's 50% of MBLK in the beginning is allocated to in-game earning.
Okay.
Yeah, 50% of the token itself.
So
and they're getting rewarded in MBLK?
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
And then you would swap that out to Zogi?
I mean, you could swap it for whatever you want. You could swap it for USD, you could USDT, you could swap it for ETH, you can swap it for any token you want. You could also spend it in game on weapons, which is what a lot of people will most likely do because they want to upgrade.
Does any of that?
You are the stronger your weapons and armor are in the game, the more you're going to be able to earn, right? Because you're going to be able to kill more difficult enemies, and you're going to die less often. So in order to do that, people can spend MBLK in the game, and then you could actually sell those NFTs as well. So you could sell those NFTs for USDT, for ETH, and then you actually earn in the game. Then you don't even necessarily need to sell the token that you're earning. You could just sell the NFTs that you create with that token.
So through all those transactions, are tokens being burnt? Bezoge being burned through all those transactions, people minting and whatnot?
No, but MBLK is going back into the earning pool. So anytime someone uses MBLK in the game to mint a weapon or to mint armor, that goes back into the earning pool and replenishes it. So that 50% that it starts off at, actually we actually project that it's going to go up over time. So rather than it being at 50%, yes, we're giving out 1,000th of it a day, but also any tokens that are bought from exchanges, from the token launch, from IDO, all of that, if that's spent in the game, it goes into the earning pool. So the entire other 50% of the tokens that are eventually released from staking, from all these other avenues, if they are spent in the game, they'll actually go into the earning pool. And so the earning pool should grow over time. We actually project it should get to 60-70% of the supply after 3 to 5 years. So it should be getting bigger and bigger, which means the earnings in the game are actually getting higher, right? Because we're putting 1,000th to be available to earn every day. So if it's 1,000th of 50% compared to 1,000th of 70%, of course, the amount that's available to earn every day will be higher.
Okay. So, yeah, that just seems to be the reluctance with people. They think that the money's going to run out and no one's going to want to, play if they're not earning as much. But I know that you guys have it set up in the ecosystem that it grows. So that's reassuring. And then my only other question is, when you summon, how are ages going to be affected? How do you determine? Because I know that you have an algorithm for the rarity and the colors and everything like that. But where does age fit into that? Is it random?
age would come straight off the provenance on the blockchain, right? Like as to when that Bezoge was created.
No, Zach, he's talking about the 4 ages, like the baby, the child.
That. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Can you guarantee that you have
do
2 adults, you're going to get an adult, or how does that work?
No. It's randomized. You can. It's as far as I remember. I need to double check, but I believe the case is that you will get a random age of below or younger than the 2 that you're breeding. I believe.
Oh.
I need to double check. We didn't actually confirm that yet, but the summoning should actually be coming out reasonably soon as well.
Okay.
A little bit of a hint, but yeah.
Well, that's it.
Those
Those are my only questions. So I really appreciate you guys. Transparency as always, and keep up the great work. I'm excited.
Thanks, Tyler.
On the end of the year.
Awesome, Tyler. Thank you.
Tyler, if you want your free hat, everyone gets
Yes.
a free hat that comes up and asks the question. If you want your
I
free
have
hat,
2, but I'll take another one for sure.
okay,
Awesome.
get in touch with get in touch with I think Farwa, and she'll send you out another free hat.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
You can add to the
Take care.
collection. Thanks,
you.
Tyler.
I think
Right, let me bring it up.
generally there is a little more people that are wanting to understand also ZOGI's role. So obviously as a head or umbrella token as well, whatever applications it has, as we've mentioned, the early accesses or part of like summoning costs. So I think a lot of people here would be interested to know that. And I think leading up to the next AMA where we start explaining ZOGI even better. So yeah, sorry, that question I would like to ask a question distracted me. Right. So yeah, I think a lot of people want to know that, like, hey, what role of ZOGI is there when it comes to Legends of Bezogia? I know it's mentioned on the white paper, some of the summoning and whatnot, but I think a lot of people would like to understand more clearly as well how much of ZOGI would get used, right? Like the question comes from the burning and taxation.
Yeah,
part.
I mean, ZOGI will be used for number 1 for staking. It's the main priority. Like the main use will be staking. It will also be used for, I mean, if you've staked ZOGI, you'll get early access to all the token sales. We've talked about that before. Staking ZOGI also can give you XP boosts in the game, so you'll gain XP faster based on how much ZOGI you have staked. There's a whole load of benefits in-game for having staking ZOGI. Alongside that, it's one of the tokens that will be used in the summoning process. So every time someone is summoning, they'll be using ZOGI as one of the tokens, alongside or Bezoge. Bezoge or ZOGI could be used. And then also there'll be other things, perhaps like, for example, when we do have NFT sales, we will accept ZOGI as a token. Like you'll be able to use ZOGI in order to buy NFTs. If we have NFT sales, we'll definitely support our own native token for NFT sales. And then also in future, if we have, for example, mystery boxes on the website, where you can get random weapons, that you can come to our site, the ZOGI Labs site, and buy mystery boxes, you'll be able to buy them with ZOGI as well. So in-game economy that's on-chain, you'll be able to use ZOGI for all of that.
Okay.
Throughout the entire ecosystem.
Also
on the NFT marketplace, you'll be able to buy and trade NFTs using ZOGI.
Would there be any incentives given for certain in-game features where people can use ZOGI and get a better deal or a better transaction cost compared to MBLK?
In-game, no, but on site, yes, perhaps. Not necessarily a better price, but equal price at least. Maybe a better price if you have staked a certain amount, for sure. But these are not things that I've confirmed. Maybe some sort of discount if you've staked a certain amount, for sure. Okay, Grover. Grover is up asking a question. Grover, did you want to ask a question?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Hey, Grover.
Hey, bravo on the AMA. Very beneficial, good info. My question always is mobile related. Is everything looking on track for mobile beta and mobile full game release?
Yeah, I mean, for mobile, we are in testing right now. We'll give an update very soon on. I say soon again, but we'll give an update on. We'll give an update on the progress. It's still on track for sure. Hopefully, we'll be able to push out. Hopefully, it should be. I think on the schedule is end of this year. We'll be able to push out a mobile version for people to test. We're still sort of on schedule for that.
Any
We'll make
I think
Benji?
I think every AMA for the next till the end of the year, we're going to have something exciting to talk about. To be honest.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a packed schedule for sure. Back to back now. Can we
There's
get
a
some
lot,
leaks?
yeah.
Do we have any leaks maybe for the mobile version? Because I had a playable version. The last time I remember the build was at Meta Week, which was in April this year. March or April this year. We actually played it out.
We can maybe ship you out a little version soon. But yeah, maybe we'll start to show more content over the coming month or so on socials, and we'll start sharing some of the mobile content, because I think that's something that people would like to see. So I'll pass that to the game dev team and the marketing team to get that stuff together. But we are testing it right now. We actually had an internal discussion specifically about the mobile version today. So it's top. It's one of the top priorities right now.
All right, I'm gonna go get a new Android phone. Ship me out the latest build so I can drop leaks to the community. Yeah, man, I'm with you guys. I'm with all you guys that I don't see.
Hey, Grover, did that answer your question?
Yeah, love it. I'm looking forward to because I don't have a PC, so I'm looking forward to mobile, and I think it'll be sweet. So keep up the good work.
Okay. Thanks, Grover. Get in touch with Farwa, and she'll
Grover.
send you out your free hat. Okay, Neo Geo. Let me bring up. Hey, Neo Geo, did you have a question?
Hey, yeah, thanks. Great AMA. Thanks for all the great info today. Given everything we've heard, this might sound not really important, but just curious if there's been any details you guys could share with that participation NFT, or in terms of timing also when those will be distributed.
It's a very good question. We actually have finalized the design of those, and we should be able to ship them out this month as well. We should be able to airdrop them out this month. We still need to confirm whether it'll be an airdrop or you have to come on and claim it, where we'll whitelist all of the wallets that are able to claim. That's more likely what it'll be, but it should be this month. The design is finalized now. I saw it the other day.
Yeah, I saw the
nice.
Yeah.
Any hints or leaks you could give on the design, or just wait and see?
Just wait and see.
It's round.
It looks awesome. It looks awesome.
It's round. It's a coin. It's a coin.
Hey, come on. That was a little look, Steve. You pulling that off on me, right? Now you're gonna say coin.
I had to give away a better leak. I had to give away a better leak than you did. So.
All right.
There we go. Okay, Neo Geo. Yeah, it's a coin, coin style design. The design is finished, and they'll be claimable this month. I'm happy to give that deadline to the team.
They look sweet.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. Get in touch with Farwa for your free hat. Don't forget to claim your free hat.
Will do. Thanks.
Yeah, I think last week Farwa was saying a lot of people didn't actually reply, or maybe it was the week before. Is there any still people outstanding, Farwa?
Last week, I think it's probably Mr. Pajama that's working on it. He's trying to get the addresses and phone numbers of those people. It was Cal, I guess, who never contacted. A couple of people never contacted. Okay, guys, before we move on to Rahul Pagricha, I just want to answer Ron's question. Yes, we do have a Twitter space tomorrow, 4 p.m. UTC.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But this is the whiteboard session, though. It's not just like an open free-for-all session.
Yeah, the whiteboard sessions, just to reiterate what they are. We have whiteboard sessions every Wednesday at midnight my time. No, 11 p.m. my time, I think they are. Maybe it's midnight, actually. But anyway, around... what time is it UTC, Mark? 4 p.m.?
4 p.m.
Yeah, it's either 3
Yeah.
p.m. or 4 p.m. UTC. Either way, the topic of those is to discuss ideas for the game. So it's getting everyone from the community, giving you a space to have your say and brainstorm some ideas for what features we'd like to have in the game and some dungeons and whatever you want. Basically anything that you would like to integrate into the game, we just all come on and have a discussion about that. So if you have ideas of things you want to get integrated into the game, come on the Twitter space and have a chat. The one rule we have on the whiteboard sessions is no questions.
There you go. I was about to say that, like, guys, like, we try to avoid questions at the whiteboards.
Yeah.
There's no question.
It's a contribution only. It's a contribution only session. We don't respond to questions on that. So if you ask a question, we won't answer.
Yeah, because otherwise, Shiny will just ask about pets every week, and then we'll be answering that question.
Otherwise, Shiny will be on asking about pets.
Shiny's gonna love the NFT upgrades. He's gonna love it.
Yeah. Okay, Raul. Raul, did you have a question? Welcome to the AMA. Did you have a question?
I think
we can't hear you.
was
You're
just
muted,
asking
actually.
about the the spam post. Someone was commenting on Facebook about the Ethereum airdrop scam thing, and he asked that on a private message. But I don't know, Raul, do you have a question? Maybe he's not. He's still muted though.
Yeah, he's still muted. Rahul, we'll move on to the other questions. If you want to ask a question, please unmute yourself and feel free to ask. Okay, Shiny, pets. No comment on the pets, Shiny, because you ask that same question every week. It's just sort of the token question every week.
Far was actually creating a Shiny pets question meme, so look out for that.
Yeah, and I think we might be doing a rework of the pets a little bit, a small rework to match the new Bezogia as well. You can see Ben nodding his head as if to say, yes, that is what we're doing. So at least you'll be, Shiny, you'll be glad to know there'll be a little bit of a rework so that they match the new Bezogia and the style of the map. They will still look very much the same though, I think, because the way they look sort of matches the style of the game already. It's just the textures and some things might change a little bit. But
we might have a new breed. We'll have a new breed. We'll have cats.
That's not going to happen.
Cats and prams.
Cats in a pram, yeah, that would be a good pet, actually. That would be a great pet. Maybe that would be a weapon rather than a pet. But
as a weapon.
Maybe the purebreds on the NFT should be in a buggy, in a stroller, just for the artwork.
No, I don't think so. I think
anonymous. Is Bezoge or ZOGI required for summoning or minting?
Yeah, guys, Rahul wanted to ask about attendance token.
Okay, so that's been answered.
Yeah, that's been answered. Okay, thanks, Rahul. I'm gonna kick you out. Thank you. Just because if there's other people who need to come in, then we need space for people to come in. Okay, is Bezoge or ZOGI required for summoning or minting? Yes, I'm Bezoge or ZOGI. Sorry. It should be both. It may be ZOGI only, but either way, it will be a simple process. If it's ZOGI only, then it will still be just an extra transaction in the list, but it will still be within, like, you just click summon and it will prompt you to do all the different transactions that are required. So it would be, whether it is Bezoge or ZOGI, it'll definitely be ZOGI. Whether it's also Bezoge or not, it would still be a very simple process to just a couple of clicks and use your Bezoge. There would be one extra step, which is to wrap your Bezoge into ZOGI. Brian Shoulders, that's a good name. I like that name. Get on Coinbase platform. Good question as well. I think no comment on that. We don't comment on exchanges. The exchange will always announce first. Is there a possibility of Bezoge being listed on an exchange still along with ZOGI? Yes, there's always the possibility. I mean, just because ZOGI exists doesn't mean we're not going to support it whatsoever. If the opportunity comes up to list Bezoge on exchanges, we still will. But I think ZOGI is more suitable for exchanges because of the no tax. It makes it a lot easier. And I think it's better for people that want to buy ZOGI on exchange as well. So, because you won't lose 2% when you withdraw. Sometimes you actually lose 4% from the exchanges because they route it through a smart contract. So, yeah. Eco handle. When will the first quest be tested in beta? Could you describe how one will know about them in the game? I think we answered that. We kind of showed that today in the game update section. There'll be a whole quest log. And that should be on. Is it on the current version, Benji, that's being updated today? Or is it
there is a version that's a bit clunky of it, so don't rely on it too much. But it's kind of a first version. I mean, it's still in development. Actually, it will probably be shipped with the build, but it's still not fully done. But it's like in 2 weeks it will be. It's basically ready. It just needs to be polished.
Okay. Namu, nothing. I don't know why this has been added into the questions. Malcolm, did you add that into the question?
I did add it in. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was just a highlight. He was so happy with last week's AMA that he didn't have anything. He was all clear, specifically on the pets.
Great. And Namu is one of the people in the community. I see him in Telegram all the time and on Discord, I think. Mr. Krog, detailing why Bezoge and ZOGI is needed. I think we kind of went over that throughout the whole AMA. Bezoge and ZOGI are needed because Bezoge is the underlying token for the entire ecosystem. So for any future games and for Legends of Bezogia, owning Bezoge or ZOGI will give you benefits within the game itself. Whether that is the extra XP for staking, the staking rewards, voting on specific game changes. When we might want to change percentages, change the algorithms, we'll have votes in a DAO, for example. I think there's a lot of things that Bezoge and ZOGI will be used for that I just listed. So that's the reason why they're needed. Is there an influencer coming soon to promote before any potential sex listing? We won't make any comments on influencers on here. I would love to know a little more detail about the fundraising efforts. How much more do they need to close the round besides being a accredited investor? Who are they looking for investments? Again, we can't really make comments on that, but we have a lot of updates internally on the fundraising recently, and we are moving forward with it. So we're happy with the progress.
It's I think from the accredited investor, like at the end of the day, for us, when it comes to accredited investors and institutions, we do pre-qualify people just so that anyone generally interested that's listening can understand the process or the policies of the company. The pre-qualification just is us looking at the relevance of their participation in crypto. So you see there is blind money and then there's smart money. So we go through that process, and then with the smart money crowd, we go to the next steps. We sign NDAs, we share data with them, and likewise. So if anyone wants to generally come through that route to us, they can approach us as an accredited investor or an institution. And also it has to be from regulated when I say regulated, I mean crypto-friendly regulations. So generally, like, that kind of cancels a lot of like people out from developed countries. But yeah, that's how the process usually is. So anyone can approach us. It's not like we're completely closed boxed.
If anyone does want to get involved in the pre-sale, do get in touch. I mean, we will consider people from the community if they do want to get into the pre-sale. There will be a minimum investment amount that we'll discuss. But if people are interested, get in touch with the team, and we'll get back to some of you.
So once fundraising efforts, as they're closing as well, we're going to be publishing the information towards the stuff that we have planned for the Bezoge holders from the launch pads and whatnot. So either now or at a later stage, everyone's going to have full clarity on exactly whatever was done, how much of it was done, what the allocations were. Like, everything's going to become more public information as well.
Okay, let me move forward because there's a lot of questions to get through. Anonymous, is land still on the table for sale / direct use? Yes. The simple answer to that. Nothing has changed in terms of land. Stephen Scott, can you review the process and fees of wrapping Bezoge to ZOGI without using exchange if we don't have access to one? Can you review the process and fees of wrapping Bezoge to ZOGI without using an exchange? I mean, it will all be DeFi. Wrapping will all be DeFi. It will all be on chain. So you will simply approve your Bezoge and then wrap it, and you will get back essentially 98% of what you had. The reason for the 98% is the 2% tax on transactions. But bear in mind, you would lose that 2% if you were to sell your Bezoge on Uniswap anyway, because you would lose the 2% because you'd be transferring it into the pool. So you don't actually lose out on anything by wrapping to ZOGI. There's no additional cost, because after you wrap to ZOGI, you could then sell ZOGI itself in its own liquidity pool. So yeah, you don't need an exchange. There's absolutely no need for an exchange. But in future, once there's exchange listings, you'll then be able to trade ZOGI on an exchange. I think that's it. There's no more questions. Do we have more questions from the community, Malcolm? Were there more starred questions?
I mean, there was a few that came in.
Okay. I think Cal is asking for armor for pets. I mean, actually, with the new way that the armor works, it would be a lot easier for us to create armor for pets actually than before, right, Benji? Maybe I'm wrong. It would be easier than before to create the armor, right?
It's easier than before, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. But no comments on armor. No promises on armor for pets. Need goats. I actually, having goats would actually be great in the game because of the whole greatest of all time sort of thing. There are a few things that'll be coming soon, like maybe some social justice warriors in the game led by Karen. These things might be coming soon. The team are going to work on that soon. So you should see a lot more funny enemies like that coming very soon.
I like the idea of goats as well. Oh.
There was something I saw, actually, our most recent, Benji, maybe you should look into this. The most recent Halloween graphic, I actually really like the ghosts.
Okay.
They looked really cool. Yeah, you can see it on Twitter. I really like the ghosts that Nico, the designer, put in there. So we may have some ghosts in the game. I think ghosts would be cool in some of the creepy caves and stuff. Ghosts would be really fun.
But hey, let's save it for the brainstorm tomorrow.
Yeah, we can save this for the Twitter. Come on the Twitter space. We can brainstorm all these things.
Here's a question.
Keyboard. Oh, Malcolm, sorry, I clicked that right after. Which question was it?
This one. Starred.
Oh, sorry. Click it again. Okay. Will there be an opportunity to earn participation NFTs down the line? Yes. At all major events in future, well, not all, some major events in future, we'll have participation NFTs as well. Most likely on like the first day of the game as well, the game release. The first, maybe we may do bigger, maybe first 10,000 people that play the game will get something. But there'll definitely be participation NFTs down the line for sure. Willis, the NFT that people who played beta, this is the participation NFT. Will it be on ETH Network? Yes, it will be on ETH Network. It will be bridgeable between multiple networks as well in future. Once the NFT bridge is released. Maybe I just gave another thing away that there'll be an NFT bridge. I think people knew about that though.
Yeah.
Ghosts could be crypto projects that have died. Jason, join the Twitter space and we can discuss these things.
That's good.
Someone said keyboard warriors, not social justice warriors, I hope. Both. There should be both. Keyboard warriors, social justice warriors are a different group of enemies.
Here we go. The enemies, Steve, are you sure?
They are enemies, yeah, they are enemies.
Oh, okay, just want to clarify that for your...
I'm sure someone will be offended by that, but they will be anyways. Yeah. I'm all for the
just
social justice, guys.
another question.
All
I
for
think
social
you
justice.
covered this, Steve. If you're using Ledger, that you can just connect to MetaMask.
Yeah. Absolutely no difference. The only difference with a ledger and in the technology is that your private key is stored on a hardware, and so every time you need to sign a transaction, you have to type in your password on a piece of hardware. The way that the technology works is still actually exactly the same. So the fact that it's on Ledger, you're still on just an ERC20 wallet that has a private key. It's just that the private key is stored on a piece of hardware instead of on your computer. So there's absolutely no difference if you're doing something on Ledger and you're doing it on a standard MetaMask wallet. It's the same thing. When can I throw away my 48 pack of RAM? I don't really know how to answer that question, to be honest. I guess this is something regarding when is the market going to turn around? Ron, have you been eating just ramen? Is that all you've been eating since the market dropped recently? Hopefully soon, Ron. Hopefully soon. I'm very positive, but I'm always bullish. So every time you ask me, I'll say soon.
The tide is turning. You can feel it.
There's a lot of things turning. There's a few stock markets have been going well today, but all speculation, not financial advice. I'm confident that the markets will turn around soon.
That reminds me, it's been like 2 hours. We got to wrap up the AMA. I've got my morning shift at the local McDonald's.
Yeah, right.
To pay for the ramen. He needs to pay for ramen.
Meanwhile, Faro actually has 3 jobs.
I'm working for food.
Okay, I think, yeah. Willis, this is a good idea. Maybe you should participate on the Twitter space and we can start planning the Vegas party when we hit 3 billion market cap. That would be a discussion I would be willing to have on the Twitter space for sure.
We were going to do it in May at the 1-year anniversary. Let's try to do it at this coming May, at the 2nd-year anniversary.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. I think this is 2 hours now. Good time to end it.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone who came up. Rahul, I see you've come up again. Did you have a question? If you want to unmute yourself, did you want to ask a question? I know you had issues last time with your microphone. If you ask a question, you get a free hat, Rahul. Maybe not. Okay, maybe around next week if you can get the microphone, if there's an issue with the microphone, or maybe he's not able to talk.
He's in private chat. He's saying he still does. I said, sure, thank you. Maybe next week. Yeah, come on next week, Rahul.
Okay.
You'll still have the opportunity for your hat. Plenty hats.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you everyone for joining. It was a fun AMA. Hopefully everyone is as excited as we are about ZOGI token. I'm excited to be on multiple chains. Maybe one last thing in the comments. Maybe everyone can drop the chains that they are most excited about, so we can get an idea of what chains you think we'll be on. So drop your favorite chain in the comments, maybe, and we'll maybe show a few of those comments.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
People are a lot slower to drop their favorite chains than dropping what city they live in at the start of the stream. I think there was about 50 comments saying where people lived, and I had to show them all. But no one wants to say their favorite chains. Maybe everyone is as chain agnostic as we are.
Binance and Coinbase. Well,
I didn't know
Coinbase was a chain.
I don't think they have a chain, do they?
No, well, yeah.
I like this is a good one. Gold chain. Gold chain.
Yeah.
Of course, Binance. So BSC, Gate.io chain. They do have a chain. Gate has their own chain.
Well, technically, everyone has a chain. These are just names of exchanges that people are mentioning.
Yeah, exactly. Arbitrum, yeah. Arbitrum is cool.
I did a bridge on Arbitrum yesterday. I was very impressed. It was zero network fee on ETH. So Arbitrum was something kind of cool I was experimenting with.
Polygon.
We're technically there on Matic.
Bicycle chain. One of my favorites. Goldie looking chain. Another of my favorites, yeah. Someone is saying vote for Steve. I guess this person, me, I guess is has the Steve. Someone did a Steve ZOGI meme on Discord in the NPC contest. It was a holy Steve ZOGI.
There's no such thing.
Someone said chainsaw. Yeah, good one. Okay, me is Paul. Okay, now I know who that is. Okay. Okay, good. Well, maybe we'll be on some. Maybe some of the chains mentioned will be included. Maybe they won't.
You know,
Cardano.
The builders coming onto Bitcoin's chain right now with the Lightning Network and the implementation of stacks. I'm surprised no one mentioned that, but that was something that intrigues me. Hey man, that's the OG layer. You run everything on Bitcoin.
So Quizen, I think it's Quizen, as we've said before, vote for Chuck ZOGI. I guess this is also the NPC contest. So for those that have not entered yet, please, on Discord, have a look in the NPC contest forum. If you have any ideas of NPCs that you want to have integrated into the game, it's a good chance to share your idea. And if you win, you can win up to I think $1,000, like we said at the start, and you can also have your NPC integrated into the game. So yeah, please take a look. Easy to deploy on Arbitrum, Moonbeam, Optimism, ZK Sync. Okay. Someone else is saying, actually, now I have to give everyone a little bit of exposure. Vote for Bryce Blocker. But please, even if you're not wanting to add your own entry into the contest, please go take a look. There's some really funny ones. One of my personal favorite. I think a lot of people didn't understand the name because I shared it to some people today, and they're like, "Why is that funny?" It was Master Beta. I think Master Beta was the funniest one yet, with his helmet. That's my vote. My vote definitely went for Master Beta. I can see Ben struggling to not laugh in the corner now. But Master Beta with his helmet, ready to release his wisdom on you. He just needs a helping hand. I mean, that for me, that's the best one. He's ready for a helping hand. I think if you get it, you get it. I really enjoyed that. That's one of the best. Someone said, yeah. It's one of my favorite so far. So take a look. Just have a read. They're really entertaining. It's definitely worth reading through. It's a fun part of the Discord for now. When does the contest end, guys?
15th. So we've got another 2 weeks. So you've still got plenty of time.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can upload that Blender model for Liam and whoever wants to dabble with the model. But I mean, Blender's not easy. You can just do a screenshot on your phone and edit on your phone, to be honest. It doesn't need to be a masterpiece, but if you want it to be a masterpiece, there have been some really, really good, high quality images done though. So yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah. The Zogini was also a cool entry. I like the Zogini.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please give your votes. Have a read of them. They're certainly very entertaining. I had a great time reading all of the entries so far.
Willis just got the joke. He just got it right now.
But it's not spelled like Willis wrote Master Beta. That's not how it's spelled. It's beta, like the beta testing. Master Beta. Yeah, it's a good one. But yeah, it's a funny one.
Guys, Zach has another job. I'm worried for his salary. They'll deduct his salary.
Okay.
Okay, right, guys. Let's we're gonna end it here.
Excited, man. Thank you everyone for joining.
See everyone tomorrow. See everyone tomorrow.
Yeah,
all right. See everyone tomorrow on the Twitter space, and we'll see you in 2 weeks on the next AMA. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining, everyone.